Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all doing well. It has been a crazy couple of weeks, and I feel like the rest of the school year is going to be just as interesting and crazy. So this is just a little introduction video to hopefully answer some of your questions about what our online learning will look like. So we're going to start off by looking at Schoology. I'm going to try and make it as streamlined or as sequential, as easy to follow as possible. And so each week you'll have a folder. So here's our April 1st to April 3rd folder. That's this week. And basically your job is just to complete the things in the folder. So hopefully you already watched the how to use split screen video. And right now you should be in the introduction assignment. So you should have your introduction notes open and you should be watching this video right here. That's what you should be doing at this current moment in time. So, like I said, your job is to be filling out the notes as we go along. This will be your first assignment. You're going to get some completion points for it. And it's basically just a practice, so to make sure that you understand what our plan is for this online learning format, and so you can practice using the Schoology apps that we'll be using for the rest of our school year here. So I'm going to split the screen, so I'm going to pull up from the bottom of my menu and then put my finger on Word and pull that up. Okay, and then I can split my screen. So I have my notes on one side and then I have my video on the other. So this is what your screen should currently look like. So you can take notes as you are listening, as you are watching the video. All right, this is what your screen should look like. I am going to move that over just so it's a little easier to see. All right, and again, your job is to fill these out as we are talking here. So you're going to fill the notes out as you're watching the introduction video on Schoology. You'll fill in some of the blanks with your own thoughts. If it's highlighted green like this, those are the blanks that you need to fill in with your own thoughts. And then when you're done, you're going to submit this completed note sheet into Schoology, and we'll look at how to do that at the end. So first off, what do you think of everything that's happening? Personally, I think this is just weird. I've been going to school for almost 20 years now, and this is pretty darn crazy. So I'd like you to go ahead and fill in what you think. I think it's weird. Please pick a different adjective. Next, the most important thing, so the number one rule for online learning is you need to ask questions, okay? You need to ask questions. That is the number one thing. The only way we're going to make it through this is if you're asking questions. So anytime you have something, don't hesitate to ask. Schoology, message me, email me, meet me on Teams, whatever you need. Just let me know anytime you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Like I said, the course is set up pretty sequentially for you. There's going to be a folder each week. That's what we were just looking at in Schoology. And your job is really simple. It's just complete each of the tasks before the end of the week. The due date for all of your assignments is going to be Friday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so you need to complete everything in that week's folder before Friday at 11:59 p.m. At that time, that's the cutoff time, so you have a whole week to work on everything, and then by Friday at 11:59, it needs to be handed in. Your tasks are going to be a little bit different from what we would do in the regular classroom, and here are just some examples of things you might be required to do. So you might need to take a quiz on Schoology, you'll need to complete practice problems and then submit them to Schoology. You might need to create a video using screen recording. You might be required to make corrections on work. You might be required to participate in discussions on Schoology. So those are just some examples of the things we might do. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to make everything as easy to follow as possible. And your job, like I said, it's pretty simple. You need to remember to ask questions and you need to complete your work. And as long as you're asking questions and completing your work, you should be good to go. So I'd like you to take a second, just pause. What questions do you have so far? Go ahead and fill in your own questions. My question for you, I'm just really curious about what you guys have been doing with your time off. Personally, I've been getting a lot of reading done, so in my opinion, that's one good thing that's coming out of this crazy situation we're in. If you need to pause the video to write down more questions, go ahead. And remember this is your questions. Don't copy my question, write your own. Looking at number 6, Monday through Friday, I'm going to have office hours from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So during that time, you can Schoology message me, email me, or we can talk via the Teams app on your iPads, and I'll respond right away. Teams is kind of like FaceTime, so if you don't have Teams, you need to go to Manager and install it. So here's Manager right here on my iPad. I'd open it up, and then I'd find Teams in there. So you can go ahead and install that right now, or right after you're done watching the video if you don't have it yet, because we'll be utilizing that. Okay, and it's not popping up, but when it does pop up, it'll be this kind of purpley blue app right down here. All right, so you should have that. So like I said, my office hours are from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. If you contact me outside that time, I'll still respond to you. I just might not respond immediately. Okay, from 9:30 to 11:30, I will absolutely 100% of the time be in front of my computer, so I'll respond right away. If it's outside of those hours, I will still respond. It just might not be immediately. The best way to contact me is through Schoology message. Okay. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, the best thing to do is just shoot me a Schoology message, and I will get back to you within the day. Okay, so either that day or early the next day, I'll get back to you to answer your questions. Many videos like this one will have notes that go along with them, and your job is to complete those notes. Your job is to use a split screen, like you should be doing right now, to watch the video as you take your notes on your iPad. So again, you should currently be doing that, so you can get a little practice in with that. Number 9, to work on and hand in assignments, you just open the assignment through Schoology, and you do not save. So again, that's what you should currently be doing with this note document. You should have opened it in Schoology. It took you to Word, where you're writing right now, and you do not save that document. When you complete the assignment, you go back into Schoology and you submit. So these notes that you're currently taking are your first practice assignment. You should currently be working in Word. Do not save, and when you're done, you're going to go back to Schoology. You're going to go back to that Schoology assignment and submit. So in this assignment, you might have to click to a different tab, right? See, I have these different tabs. You might have to click to a different tab, and then there will be a big blue submit button that'll allow you to hand it in. Mine looks a little bit different than yours, but that's how you hand it in. And again, you don't need to save it. So right now, this Word document is hooked up to the cloud, and as long as I leave it like that, then it'll automatically save everything you're writing on it to Schoology. However, if you save it to your iPad, then it's not hooked up to Schoology, so it won't save your changes. So it's really easy. Open it, don't save it, then submit it when you're done. Okay? Last couple things, remember that online learning, it's going to be different, it's going to be weird. Personally, I think it's going to be pretty interesting and exciting to see how this all plays out. Again, go ahead and fill in what you think of it. And as long as we're patient and ask questions and we're working together, we're going to be successful. And go ahead and fill in, what do you think? What do you think needs to happen in order for all of us to be successful with this? Because again, this is unprecedented. You guys are like living history right now, okay? Last thing, just if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, my biggest question or concern for you guys is just to make sure everything makes sense. And again, that's why we're going through this video. That's kind of what this first week from April 1st to April 3rd is about, just making sure we're all set up and we are as comfortable as we can be with what's going on. So if you did have any questions on number 11 or number 5, I'll get back to you with answers about those in the next day or so. All right. In the meantime, I hope everybody is doing pretty well and have a great rest.